At 7:42 a.m. on a Tuesday, I watched two landscapers rip out my front yard plantings while an HOA board member stood on the sidewalk with a clipboard. "Remove all nonconforming growth," she told them. One of the men hesitated. "Ma'am, this property isn't listed in the Maple Ridge Lot Registry." She snapped back, "The violation fine authorizes corrective action." I stepped off my porch slowly, holding my phone up. "You might want to pause." She looked at me, irritated but confident. "You've ignored multiple notices, sir. The association has authority." I glanced at the truck parked behind them. It was blocking the only entrance road into the subdivision. The road with my name on the deed. "Authority?" I asked calmly. "Let's test that. My name is Daniel Mercer. I'm 42 years old, a civil infrastructure consultant by trade. I don't raise my voice. I read contracts twice. I keep records in triplicate. 3 years ago, I purchased a modest suburban home just outside Maple Ridge Estates. What made it interesting wasn't the house, it was the access. The entire subdivision feeds through a 0.4-mile private road labeled Parcel 17B. During the developer's bankruptcy in 2017, that parcel was separated from the HOA-controlled plat. It was sold at auction in 2019. I bought it under Mercer Infrastructure Holdings, LLC. Recorded deed number 2019 to 44721. County, Ashbourne. Zoning classification, private access utility corridor. The HOA assumed the road was theirs. It wasn't. Every homeowner within Maple Ridge holds a non-exclusive ingress/egress easement across my road. It's clearly defined in their closing documents. What they do not have is regulatory authority over my adjoining property. My lot sits outside their covenant map, confirmed by Survey Overlay Exhibit C12 filed with the County GIS office. For 3 quiet years, no issues. Then I removed my lawn. I replaced Kentucky bluegrass with native prairie grass, stone borders, and drought-resistant wildflower clusters. Fully permitted. Permit ID, ASHLND 22341. The HOA president, Linda Caraway, didn't approve. First red flag arrived March 3, 8:16 a.m., an envelope taped to my mailbox labeled Courtesy Notice. It cited Article 4 of the Maple Ridge Aesthetic Guidelines. I wasn't bound by Article 4. That was Rung 1. Rung 1, the Courtesy Notice. What happened? They claimed my landscaping violated HOA design standards. Proof captured. I scanned the letter, envelope, timestamped ring footage of placement. Why it matters, establishes first improper assertion of jurisdiction. I responded March 5 via certified mail. Tracking number 940710000081234412. Content, formal notice of non-membership, attached boundary survey, recorded deed copy. No response. Rung 2, formal violation notice, $1,500 fine. What happened? They escalated from courtesy to monetary penalty. Proof captured, certified envelope, internal HOA letterhead. Legal issue, attempt to levy fine without contractual privity. I ignored it. You don't argue prematurely. You document. Rung 3, vendor intimidation. On April 2nd, my landscaping contractor called. "Daniel, HOA board member told us we could lose future contracts if we work on your property." I requested written confirmation. He forwarded me a text from Linda, "Associates who enable violations may be blacklisted." Saved as PDF. Metadata preserved. Interference with business relations. Rung 4, towing attempt. April 18, 6:32 p.m. HOA contracted towing company placed a boot on my guest's car, parked on my shoulder lane. I walked out with a laminated copy of the easement map. "You are immobilizing a vehicle on private property," I told the driver. He removed the boot. I recorded badge ID and truck number. Rung 5, escalating fines. By May 1st, the total claimed penalties reached $12,000. Cumulative aesthetic degradation. They referenced non-existent covenant authority over Parcel 17B. I pulled county GIS shapefiles. Their jurisdiction polygon stopped 43 feet short of my boundary. Rung 6, lien threat. May 14th, notice of intent to record lien. They cited HOA Statute 55.1 to 1800. That statute applies only to lot owners within recorded declarations. I'm not listed in Declaration Book 3381, page 402. Rung 7, forged document. June 2nd, I received a copy of a recorded supplemental covenant inclusion allegedly signed by me. My signature was wrong. Not sloppy wrong. Structurally wrong. I signed with a distinctive angular M. The document used a rounded formation I haven't used since college. I ordered certified copy from County Recorder. Instrument number 2024 to 11,872. The notary stamp belonged to an individual whose commission expired February 2023. The document was notarized April 2024. That was significant. But I waited. Rung 8, contractor destruction, cold open scene. They hired landscapers to correct violation. Trespass. Conversion of property. I captured it on 4K video. Timestamp overlay visible. Rung 9, insurance inquiry. My insurer contacted me June 6th. We received inquiry from Maple Ridge HOA regarding structural compliance risk on your lot. They attempted to trigger underwriting pressure. I sent insurer the survey and deed. Case closed within 48 hours. Rung 10, smear campaign. An email circulated through residents. Mr. Mercer's neglected yard is lowering property values. I obtained copy through neighbors sympathetic to facts. Defamation element documented. By now, I had 12 inches of paper. But the real break came from Metadata. I hired a forensic document examiner to review the recorded supplemental covenant inclusion. We extracted embedded PDF metadata. Author, L. Caraway at mapleraghoa.org. Creation date, March 28, 11:14 p.m. Original file name, dan_force_edition_final2.pdf. Not drafted by legal counsel. Worse, the notary ID number belonged to a retired insurance agent whose commission status showed inactive in the Secretary of State database. Meaning the document was falsely notarized and improperly recorded. That's not HOA drama. That's potential fraud. I forwarded the findings to attorney Melissa Grant, real estate litigation specialist. She smiled once. They escalated beyond nuisance, she said. Now we escalate to court. Complaint filed July 2nd. Case number, CV24-01987. Claims, slander of title, fraudulent recordation, trespass, tortious interference. We requested temporary restraining order preventing enforcement of any HOA action against my parcel. Hearing scheduled July 18, 9:30 a.m. Courtroom 3B felt smaller than I expected. Judge Hargrove adjusted his glasses. Case CV24-01987. Mercer v. Maple Ridge Estates Homeowners Association. Linda sat rigid beside HOA counsel. Melissa began calmly. Your Honor, the defendant recorded a fraudulent covenant instrument against property outside their jurisdiction. Judge turned to HOA attorney. Do you have evidence plaintiff is bound by your declaration? Counsel shuffled papers. We believe the parcel functionally integrated. Belief is not authority, the judge interrupted. He reviewed the survey overlay. GIS map confirms exclusion. He held up the notary record. Commission expired over a year prior to execution date. Explain. Silence. Linda attempted, it was an administrative oversight. Judge's tone sharpened. You recorded a document affecting title. That is not administrative. He issued bench ruling. Temporary restraining order granted. Immediate removal of recorded instrument. Cease enforcement attempts. Hearing set for damages phase. Hammer strike. That wasn't the end. Within 72 hours, the fraudulent covenant was expunged from county records. HOA insurer initiated claim review. Their carrier requested mediation. Settlement terms finalized September 14. $38,400 damages for trespass and landscaping destruction. $22,600 attorney fees reimbursed. Formal written retraction distributed to all 86 residents. Permanent injunction prohibiting enforcement attempts on Parcel 17B. Board President Linda Caraway resigned effective immediately. Additionally, mediation agreement amended HOA bylaws to require jurisdictional verification before issuing fines. They paid. Quietly. And they stopped using the phrase authority around me. 2 months later, I stood at the entrance of the road at sunset. Residents drove past slowly, some offering polite nods. My restored prairie grass moved gently in the wind. No more letters. No more boots on tires. No more forged signatures. I don't hate HOAs. I dislike overreach. There's a difference. You don't defeat arrogance by shouting louder. You defeat it with documentation, timestamps, recorded deeds, and patience. Because when someone says they control your property, there's only one thing that matters. Proof. And I had it. I sipped my coffee, watching headlights glide down the road I legally own. Calm is power. Records are leverage. And paper beats ego every time.